What's up, guys? Stoopy here, finally. Bottle, she shows it. She loves the drama, she shows it. She pops a bottle, she blows it. Most fun, I suppose it. Does bottle, she goes it. Blows the bottle, she blows it. She pops the bottle, she's dozing. Sorry, you know me. Next white rapper. Anyway, so guys, I know I made a commitment to make a blog for our league, much like every other commitment. If you cheered with me, I have reneged on it completely, if not altogether. But I was able to escape the absolute finger that I've been wrapped around, and it's no fault but my own. I fucked around and caused some feelings. That's my fault. But again, I have every reason to, I guess, right now. But getting into this week, we got some exciting matchups this week, because this is the week that separates you're either 4-0, or I'm sorry, you're either undefeated still, you're in that almost 500 category, or you're in that well above 500 category, or you're like me and you only got one win, or Darwin and you only got one win, or Cody and you only got one win, and you're praying to God this is the week that you can finally put 2 wins in the W column. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and break down what we've got matched up this week as far as the Rings on Top League. I also love that the 2 new guys are going up against one another. So instead of going at myself first, let's make fun of the new guys. And I took notes this time too, guys. Actually, I took 3 pages of notes. That's how much I care about you all. So we got my man D and my man Cody. And I say that as if I know them, even though I don't think I've met either one of them. But, you know, fam is fam. So, Cody, by the way, does Jacksonville have something in, like, their contract with you where they pay you money so you can draft every one of their guys? And I hope to God you were able to see your lineup. One of the reasons why I didn't post this video immediately was because as I was looking through your lineup, a couple of our lineups, you guys, you know, I understand not paying attention. That's on you. I was distracted for a couple weeks after the Florida State game. I didn't think football was still in season as much as I've been hanging out with this chick. I don't know anything really. But Cody had like 9 people who are not playing this week in his starting lineup. So I didn't want to say anything because, you know, I would love to make fun of that next week. So, Cody, hopefully you fixed it, because having Blake Bortles and just about every other available point-scoring Jacksonville Jaguar outside of Hearns, you have starting this week. So hope to God you were able to fix that, because it looked like it was going to be drastic for you. But then again, you know, all we can do is hope that Cody got there. My man D coming out with Derek Carr in the San Diego Chargers-Raiders game. That's an all cards off the table game, so who knows? Raiders have had a tough time putting their own line together, but as long as he can fling that ball all day down the field to Amari Cooper, which the last time I checked is going to wind up working out for Cody, it's a wash for points for you right there. Yeah, he's going to get the PPR, but the second he scores a touchdown off a Derek Carr pass, you getting points and a yard. So that's a wash point altogether. Not to mention, let me get into fantasy cast here real quick, but if I'm not mistaken, Thursday went ahead and just decided some shit for us immediately, without anyone asking it to. For instance, however the heck it got to the point where we got 1 running back in a PPR league and a defense going off for 57 points is beyond me. Like, I love you, Will, to death, but you could sit basically everybody. Jordan can sit everybody he's got left, and that, except like Graham Cano and maybe Kelvin Benjamin. But, you know, now that the games are started and I'm redoing this again, good thing you got Pitta in the red zone. Hey, look, Theo Riddick scored a point. That's the first time Theo Riddick's done anything in 2 seasons. But getting back to that matchup, Cody and Duvall. All right, man. Look, Cody, I love you to death. Duvall, I love that you guys are both in the league. It's going to be interesting because even Duvall was able to get something out of that Thursday night game. Larry Fitzgerald going on for 23 points. That's why you got to love a PPR league. 81 yards and 2 tuds still get you 23 points. that's note to anyone who still is holding a running back at your flex position. But again, just my opinion. Who am I to say anything? I've won 1 game in 3 leagues. Clearly, I don't know shit. But yeah, no, Cody, you didn't change shit. You're projected at 64 points, and that's because half your lineup is on a bye week. So Duvall's going to go ahead and be 4-1, and the new guy is going to go ahead and be right up there with the champ as far as one of the best records in the league. So since Cody decided he didn't want to play fantasy football because I guess Jacksonville's on a bye, so is Cody. Moving into our next matchup, we are going to go with our fearless leader, Darwin, against Alyssa. Alyssa, by the way, my bad. So sorry. I thought you were a Patriots fan. I guess I was completely wrong. Then again, it couldn't be true that you were a Patriots fan because you're 0-4. You would have constituted the Bill Belichick system of winning in some aspect of your fantasy football career, and you haven't this season. In fact, right now you're getting beat 12.5-1. So good luck, even though you got 2 guys in play. All right, you got Big Ben with Darwin, and I don't understand Darwin's at 1-3, but Darwin, you're like me, you've had some pretty tight games. So you got Gronk out now. This is the matchup between you guys, because listen, I'm with you. I've been riding Kirk Cousins hard in my other leagues, and holding on to Jordan Reed, putting him in with Garcon. I'm hoping to God that last week wasn't a fluke, and Kirk Cousins finally starts finding the end zone again, and not having it, what was it, the first 3 weeks, 1 touchdown in the red zone after leading the league in red zone touchdown passes for the last, I believe it was 8 weeks of the season. And that was with 29 touchdown passes in the red zone. So, you know, again, between you guys today, Darwin, having Stephon Diggs as your flex, I've been a big fan of Diggs all season long. So, but really between y'all, I really see the matchup coming out of is Jay going to be able to run over Tennessee, and is Lamar Miller finally going to get the offensive line support that he needs to do what he does to open up the fucking passing lanes for Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins, who's also sitting in Joey's lineup, which is also stacked in my other Yahoo lineup, and I understand why start both of them and they're on the same team. I didn't. I pulled out Fuller this week, which means Fuller's going to go off for 3 touchdowns. But, you know, having all these Patriots, I mean, not really having all these Patriots, really getting the Patriot back is going to do a whole lot for anyone holding on to any Patriot. So, and that's Gronk, that's any receiver, Amendola, Edelman, including Chris White, the running back, because that's the pass-catching tight end out of the backfield for the Patriots. You know, I would have to go ahead and say I like that you got Sammy Coates being the third option for Big Ben and Alyssa. That might wash out if Ben starts to find him, but this is New York that we're playing, and the weather report today in New York, if I'm not mistaken, come game time, it was supposed to be halfway decent come game time. New York Jets... Where are we at here? Yeah. No, weather's going to be decent today at game time, so it shouldn't be a factor. I see the Pittsburgh New York Jets game being an all-out, basically street ball game of go out and get open and chuck the ball downfield. Moving on to our next matchup that we have here is my man Jimmy. And what I love looking at Jimmy. By the way, too, Alyssa, you do have one hell of a bench. Carson Palmer, Des Bryant, friggin' Kobe Fleener, like, your bench, if they weren't on a bye week, Darwin wouldn't stand a chance. Coming in, though, we've got my boy, well, not my boy, Sir Jimmy Carson. We don't call people that have an ARP card your boy. But Jimmy Carson is going up this week against, if I am not mistaken, he is going up against, yep, that's what I thought. He's going up against Freed. Heed, don't get too angry, don't get too mad. We don't want you calling any cousins east of the Atlantic Ocean and having some shit go off. Good thing you're in the lead right now, and we want to get you out of 500. We like a happy Freed. Flacco against Eli. Joey. Sorry, not Joey. Jimmy. Jimmy literally has the oldest lineup in the league. It's like Jimmy went into drafting and going, okay, who's over 34 years old and has at least 8 years in the league? Eli Manning, you got your backup quarterback being Drew Brees, you got Steve Smith sitting on your bench. I mean, Jesus Christ, Jimmy, it looks like a retirement home. And you also seem to have the same deal that friggin' Cody has, because I don't think there is another person on the Seattle Seahawks that would be able to score points fantasy-wise that you don't have in your lineup. Jonathan Stewart, too. He's been in the league since I freaking was playing football in high school. But I think the big matchup here with Heed and Jimmy, especially Jimmy sitting at 3-1, and I don't know why. I get it, I guess, because you're from Chicago, Heed, but you're going to bench Aaron Rodgers and put Flacco in? Yeah, he's 4 for 4 with a touchdown already, but we're talking about Aaron Rodgers here. Now, I don't mean to sound biased or anything, because I try to stay objective for the most part, but, I mean, could you ask for much more other than the right hand of God if it threw a football to be in a jersey? That and Aaron Rodgers gets to wake up every morning and have sex with Olivia Munn. He's winning no matter what. But I do like the fact that, you know, you got someone like Edelman in your lineup, Heed, especially with the fact that you've got Brady back in and you got the Pats defense. They're going to be in a hurry to get him back out there. Only problem is you're going to give Jimmy a whole lot of time to catch up because Jimmy's got a lot of players going later in the afternoon. So this thing's basically going to be settled as far as whatever you got done. I mean, you got 7 guys in play and you got 1 left for the afternoon. Jimmy's got 5 left and 4 in. So, and if Gary Barnidge does anything today, I swear to God, I'm gonna be so pissed. Jordan and the champ's still at 4-0, pissing me off. But Jordan, thank you for unseating him. Jordan projected at 134 points, getting 50 friggin' some odd points off a Thursday night matchup, with 33 points coming from a running back in our PPR league. 157 yards with 2 TDs. I don't even know how many catches. That's a hell of a game. What's an even better game is when your defense scores you 17 points and you walk out with 50 points before Saturdays even showed up. So, Will, unless literally everybody that Jordan's got in his lineup to play like gets hit by a natural disaster at halftime, I see you finally putting a number 1 in the loss column there, buddy. You know, my favorite matchup here between you guys, I mean, I don't know how the hell Theo Riddick's already done something today. He never does anything. Dennis Pitta against Jesse James, that's going to be a wash today. I don't think either one of those things is really going to make a difference. And no matter what happens, you're still going to have Jordy Nelson catching passes from Aaron Rodgers all day. So you can climb all the way up and tie him. But he still has Jordy at the end of the night, so he's going to wind up beating that ass. Sorry, Will, but you taking a loss for the first time this season, which is fine. We need Will to start losing more. Earl and my main man, Joey, which, Joey, by the way, your profile picture, if you looked any more like Zach Galifianakis, I can't even say his name right now. You know I'm looking like, it's just, it was nice for me to finally say that somebody else I know looks like a fat person in Hollywood instead of someone coming up to me going, you look and sound like Jack Black, or you remind me of Chris Farley. Great, I'm the two